Good morning. One of the things we want to do is begin thinking a little bit about passages in Scripture where the words are there. And so not so much things that people think are in the Bible that aren't actually in the Bible, but things that are in the Bible but are commonly misinterpreted. Phrases that are pulled out, verses that are put on plaques and things like that. And just to get them properly understood and to demythologize their mythological interpretations. So we'll start this sort of aspect of this interpretive series a little bit, looking at a text in 1 Chronicles. It's 1 Chronicles 16:22. And here's the verse. It goes like this. It's David's song, and David's song, and a portion of it says, saying, quote, "Touch not my anointed ones, do my prophets no harm." There are individuals in pastoral ministry, individuals in church leadership who have taken a verse like this and a phrase like this and used it, and in my opinion, abused it to speak about the idea that anybody coming against them, they're anointed now as the Lord's emissaries and servants, his shepherd for the church, and they'll use this phrase, "Touch not mine anointed, touch not mine anointed." Well, the context here to "touch not my anointed" is actually a reference to Israel in its wanderings as David is reflecting. And he says in verse 19, to give context to it, "When you were few in number, of little account, and sojourners in it, wandering from nation to nation, from one kingdom to another people, he allowed no one to oppress them. He rebuked kings on their account, saying, 'Touch not my anointed ones, do my prophets no harm.'" He's using that as a poetic way of saying God protected his people as they were wandering. Touch not my anointed ones. Touch not these ones who were waiting to be given a portion. He'll reference earlier in that song in the land of Canaan. This has nothing to do with pastoral ministry. This has nothing to do with people who are in my office who can somehow use and weaponize this verse as a, "Hey, don't come against me. I'm God's anointed." That's arrogant. In fact, I mean, there's verses about approaching church leadership and how to do that properly, but that's not the text. There's a text in 1 Timothy, for example, that speaks about, being careful that if you're going to bring a railing accusation against an elder, do it only with a couple of witnesses. So there is a warning about, hey, don't be arbitrary in just throwing accusations. But when I see people wield this verse in ministry, it's usually wielded with a kind of, I'm untouchable, and there's an arrogance to it. Instead, what do we get about the exhortation to pastoring? We get things like 1 Peter 5, right? We get this statement about eldership. "So I exhort the elders among you as a fellow elder and a witness of the sufferings of Christ, as well as a partaker in the glory that is going to be revealed. Shepherd the flock of God that is among you, exercising oversight, not under compulsion, but willingly, as God would have you, not for shameful gain, but eagerly, not domineering over those in your charge, but being examples to the flock. And when the chief shepherd appears, you'll receive the unfading crown of glory. Likewise, you who are younger, be subject to the elders. Clothe yourselves, all of you," that includes the elders, "with humility toward one another. For God opposes the proud, but gives grace to the humble," right? So it's humility is the answer, not "touch not my anointed." So when we see that utilized by people in power, it's pretty much, you can guarantee it's been utilized wrong. So there's a way to approach people respectfully, and there's a way for a pastor, a church leader, to handle themselves with humility. Utilizing and weaponizing "touch not my anointed" is not that way. Take care. Have a good day.